It's you, Libra. Welcome to your Libra July 2021 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James. For those of you who are just stopping by for the first time, and for the subscribers, much love and affection to you, as always. Great to see you again. Now, let's have a look to see what there is in store for you this month. I'm going to draw 5 cards because 5 is all we need. And I think that you will... Well, I mean, as we've done our readings before, I think you'll agree with me that does the job. I mean, if we were to draw any more, we'd be here for ages. And we just want to get a really good overview as to what's going to be happening, don't we? If you want to have anything further than that, then get a private reading with me. But let's have a look. The first card out is Ace of Swords. Then we have the King of Discs. What's this one here? The Four of Swords. Something from down in here, perhaps? That is the World. What a fantastic card. Very interesting artwork on it too, I might say. And what's this one here? The Death card. Ooh. Actually, it means good things. Let me have a look at it here. I think it's got good things to say. Anyway, don't let me give it away yet. Why don't you come and sit down next to me? We'll have a good close look at the cards together while I do the reading for you. Now, can you see? Great set of cards here. And by the way, if you do want to have a personal reading with me, check out the information in the description box below. Have a look at the website anyway. There's information contained there, which you might find interesting, I think. Now, this is a great Libra card, actually, here. The other people who I think are going to be interesting to you during this period are Virgo and Scorpio. They're the other energies I'm getting around here. There is a philosophical term called solipsism, which says that you are the only mind in existence. And of course, when you are a baby, you think that you are the only thing. You don't realize that other people around you have independent ways of acting and being. And what happens here is that you now come out of that world of unexamined living and into a realm of deeper inquiry and understanding. Now, the woman here, she has a moth flying ahead of her as if leading the way. She really, I think, expects danger or challenge because she holds her sword over her head in preparation for a strike. Her eyes are closed rather than blindfolded. She willingly shuts her eyes, either as a safeguard against the terror such a leap might inspire, or else to tempt fate. She is not afraid to die. Her mind's appetite for new knowledge gives her courage. What happens to her after this leap? Well, as the sword suit progresses, we never see her again. Now, the faceless towers around her crumble, and the wilderness of trees take root in their ruins. But this initial leap, I don't think, is ever resolved. None of us know what will happen to us after that leap. The meaning is in the courage and the confidence necessary to accomplish it. This is the Lord of the root of powers of air. And what we will see with you during this period is intellectual clarity, original thinking, brilliant powers of thought, almost like a divine inspiration at times, quick fire thoughts and ideas. Now, I think what can also be said here is that your present clarity is a wonderful condition for your undertaking. You will be able to recognize facts and call by name things which other people would prefer to sweep under the carpet. Now, this entails a great responsibility on your part. Be sure never to express your insights heartlessly, but when you are fully in contact with love, use your sword without sparing yourself or others. This signifies a period of great insight and clarity. It signifies a eureka moment of achievement of goals as they become much easier. You may have a new perspective on life that was previously unclear, so you can actually get to the heart of the matter. You've gained a new vision, I think, and will pursue opportunities which draw upon your creative and your mental abilities. Now, this suit of swords here, I think, in the ace, encourages you to stand up for the rights of others. And that's a very broad category. Or stand up for yourself and for your personal values and beliefs. You've gained a new insight and inspiration. You've come out of the clouds of confusion and doubt into clarity. Blue skies are here now. Forge ahead. Ask yourself what supports and what hinders your clarity. Say to yourself, I now trust my clear perceptions. Well, I think we might continue down this diagonal this way and have a look at the, what's this one here? The Four of Swords. Okay, Four of Swords. Now, what we have here is a woman, well, two of her, lying head to head. She sleeps inside a tree while the city continues to crumble. One of the women holds a sword over her heart as if for protection. This energy here is about the creation of a haven of peace and rest in a world of change. The women, and I'll call them women here, accept the frailty of their world and of themselves, and their entombment in this tree is an acknowledgement of the supreme laws of nature. I think this is also talking about the intelligent study of trying to understand a living system of human or natural origin with empathy, rigorous analysis, and insight. Now, esoterically, I refer to this energy here as the Lord of rest from strife, because it is Jupiter ruling the third decan of your sign, Libra. In this case, the period the 14th to the 22nd of October. Now, as you know, Libra tries to find balance in your life and in other people's life. The need for balance, though, can induce unrest, and sometimes the influence of Libra as a star sign energy can induce indecisiveness sometimes. But Jupiter here gives a period of rest from a difficult situation, as well as opening your higher mind's flexibility, which is needed to resolve conflicts in life. Jupiter also allows you to move on. There is an expansion in your thinking taking place, coming from a resolution in a number of different areas. Jupiter in Libra speaks of calm, of being centered, clarity, spiritual cleansing, integration, recuperation also. There's a great deal of healing for you going on here, quiet consideration, and agreement going on. There may also be the need for you to take something of a break at this time. This is a good atmosphere for the rose of recognition to unfold and expand. Jupiter carries the qualities of joy and expansion. Whatever situation has seemed hopeless until now actually contains within itself all the elements for a fortunate, a prosperous solution. I do think, though, that there is here now maybe a need for you to take some time out from a stressful situation, maybe even a holiday to recharge your batteries if you're able to do so. In any event, something of a mental health break is needed. Now, conflicts don't go away, but time out from them is needed. Make the most of any mental health break you take, but don't put off what needs to be dealt with as something unavoidable, because avoidable things can grow to become bigger or more challenging, as you know. But certainly trust your intuition to know when is enough rest for you. Make the most of this mental health break to be at your strongest when you need to face the issues which are at hand. You have enough inner clarity to successfully carry out your plans. Be sure at all times that you feel good about what is happening. What supports or what hinders your clarity? Check your surroundings and rearrange them to support calm and centeredness. And say to yourself, I am at peace within myself. Well, let's have a look then at this corner. And this is the card of Death. Now, isn't that an interesting depiction of this card? Well, Death appears here as a woman, pregnant, masked, with the pattern of the false eye upon her. Now, the false eye is the pattern that you'll often find on the wings of moths, as a sort of a defense mechanism against being eaten by birds. She appears with what is maybe in this tarot deck the priest, or is what I'd call it. What I'd call it here. But in this case, he looks like he's a choir boy, and he retains the sign of God on his forehead, and he's astride her as though she was his mother, looking adoringly at her masked face. Social institutions are forever in love with death because the end of life makes meaning bloom like a rose into it from the far side, touching every event, every word, every breath we take. The end of the story illuminates the beginning. Death is masked because that meaning is hidden to us until she looks us in the face. There was a German philosopher, Martin Heidegger, who said that authentic life is only ever lived before the horizon of death. And death comes for us. Or in this case, she may brush up against her with her wing. She is pregnant because death creates life, just as life creates death. This is the child of the great transformers. Now, this is Mars ruling Scorpio. Mars, the planet of fiery energy, in its lowest form in this case, which is necessary to provide the impulse for change. I think what we can see here is that this is about transformation. Transformation, because Scorpio has three forms, the hard form being the scorpion, the more of the fluid liquid form being the snake, and the exalted airy form being the eagle. But this is talking about you becoming free of old ensnarements. It's also talking about external changes coming in your life. There are some endings coming about here. Letting go of emotional attachments. In some respects, and I'm looking at this world card as well, this is speaking of it from a different angle, is that there's an end of an era or a cycle going on here. Now, it may be that old relationships are demanding to be disintegrated. This process may be bound together with painful experiences. However, your drawing this card indicates that you are ready for this. The act of letting go, difficult as it may be, will actually liberate you. Death shows two faces, one destroying and tearing down, the other freeing you from old bonds which have become confining, preventing life. Now, which of these aspects will predominate depends on your attitude, and any desire to hold on or cling to old bonds will cause their death to appear that much more agonizing. The fact is that something in your life is dying, dissolving, disintegrating, whether it be a structure you have created, a pattern, or a habit, or a way of thinking about yourself and the world. This is necessary for new beginnings and transformation in your life. A period of great transformation and facing your darkest fears, perhaps. But remember, the darkest hour is just before the dawn. In order to grow, you must abandon the old. Death is your protection against stagnation. You are basically being forced to leave behind that which you have outgrown. You are cutting through to the core of things and jettisoning the old and allowing the sunlight to come in to permit new things to grow. You are now ready to make the necessary changes in your life and accept any pain that may come with the loss of the old. To what outdated relationships or situations are you clinging? Say this to yourself: I let go of people and situations with ease and dignity. Every ending heralds the new beginning. I now say yes to death, yes to myself. Well, let's have a look now at, as if to reinforce this message that came from the Death card, let's have a look at this World card that's here. This is Major Arcana. As you would know, this is the final of the Major Arcana. Now here we have a girl in motion between two trees. Well, these two trees may be like the trees from the old book of Genesis, chapters 2 and 3, the tree of knowledge between good and bad and the tree of life. Now around them orbits a belt of planets and stars, and on her left hand, if you can see it, there is etched the numeral 1. Out of her open mouth is an explanation of sorts. 0, the belt of celestial bodies, 1, the human girl, and infinity, the trees, are equivalent and interchangeable. Find God in the trees, find yourself in the space in between. Find yourself in the trees, find space in God in between. Find space in the trees, find God in the self in between, and so on. This view of the universe is one in which there is definitely a place for you. Now, this energy here, unequivocally for me, is talking about the completion of a project. Your efforts are finally paying off. It's been a long haul, but you're almost there. And it's a reminder to finish what you started. You are learning to take control of your own destiny. You'll be using the power of your will to get results, and perhaps reaching a new level of spiritual understanding, even enlightenment. Now, there is Saturn associated with this card. Saturn is the thing who demands results, that doesn't wait, that acts quickly and says, I want results now, doesn't give any warning. It's talking about completion, cosmic union, liberation from bondage, a burning off of karma is what I'm also having here. This is also speaking, I think, about completion, but also about the initiator. You'll be one who is gifted in simultaneously completing the old and initiating the new. You'll be able to bring change into, if you're in a large institution, I think you'll be able to make some marginal change in strongly structured environments. You may well find that you are quite ecologically minded. There'll be a desire for you to experience as much of the world and its people as possible. Now, it may well be that before the age of 21 there was a sexual block, but that's been cut through now. Something is ending and beginning at the same time, just as this death card was talking about, and you may also have a desire to travel here, to study, or maybe even liberate a sexual reticence. It's now possible for you to see things as they really are. The stage is set for a new beginning or a favorable completion. The events in your life are in harmony with the universe at this time. And ask yourself, from what aspects of your life is it time to free yourself? Is there a journey or an enterprise waiting for you to set in motion? Trust your perceptions. Make a list of all unfinished situations whose resolution would give you a sense of relief. And say to yourself, I love to travel. I love to explore the unknown. I'm excited about bringing ideas and creative projects into form. I deeply value making a contribution that makes the world and the people around me better. I am at one with the universe. Now finally, let's have a look at the King of Discs, and I have a lot of Virgo around here. This is going to be important to you. And interestingly, I'm getting some Leo here as well. Now, why am I getting Virgo? Well, that's because the first two decans of Virgo are ruled by the Sun and Venus, respectively. And the King of Earth is about growth and about production. And so those two decans, the first two, being the Sun and Venus, the Sun is required for crops and nurture, and the nurturing qualities of Venus only complement this. He is the lord of the wild and fertile land. He could well be someone from the land, a person who's patient, a hard worker, clever. You might think that they're a bit dull and into material things. This is someone who is able to, well, he's very complex. At best, he's romantic and imaginative, but can have an overweening ambition and can be quite superstitious and have a tendency to waste time on idle dreaming. He's a master of health and material abundance, though, for you. His diagnostic ability can be applied to the body, and I think you'll have that interest in health, and other material realms such as money, finance, capital. In questions of health, he is valuable. You may have reference to a doctor or a healer. Now, it's harvest time when he's around, and that means you reaping the rewards of your hard work. This is a time for you to be instinctive. You'll have a good work ethic which brings results over the longer term. There's no air present here, so I'm not saying that you're not an intellectual, but I'm saying that at least for this month, he uses his work ethic to get things done, and I think that's what you should do. Just put your head down and work. Normally, be careful though, because he doesn't very often take much interest in anything outside of his work environment. He has a deep connection with Mother Earth. But now is the time to set your abilities to work in service of some kind, I think. The tasks before you are large and demand the use of all of your powers. If you make the effort, the harvest is going to reward you richly. Are there any tasks that you would like to avoid in your life? Whenever things seem too much trouble for you, concentrate on the positive results of your actions, for you and for others, your internal learning and growing process. That's the most important outcome, more important than that which you achieve by your actions. But say this to yourself: with every task that comes my way, comes also the energy to accomplish it. It's going to be a very productive time for you. Good job, Libra. That's the way it is for you this month. Gee, I'm a bit exhausted after that. I don't know how you feel. That was great. I really, it's kind of draining though, isn't it, this business? I really enjoyed doing that for you, and I'm glad that you were able to participate along with me. It's been great to do it with you, and I'm looking forward to more in the future. But until that time, remember this, and remember one thing only, and it is that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.